Welcome back to Pure Oxygen. Well, after September 11th, a lot of educators began rethinking their teaching methods. Fresh ideas often come from unexpected sources, but nobody ever thought that a program designed for children of war-torn Bosnia would make its way to New York City.
Pure Oxygen video journalist Justine Simons has more.
Do you see your brain? Or do you see wild colors or images or shapes?
Ilana Haviv hopes meditating on the word peace can help these children overcome the effects of the violence of September 11th.
What I'd like you to do is write down what your personal definition of peace is. Right?
Sadness fills this classroom in Manhattan's Washington Heights neighborhood. Many students are coping with the loss of loved ones from the World Trade Center disaster and the crash of Flight 587 headed for the Dominican Republic.
Most of us lost people, know people who are lost and can't express themselves in a hard time. Many people that I knew was in there and some of them died.
Working to enliven the curricula in inner-city schools, Ilana founded the non-profit Children's Movement for Creative Education in the mid-1990s.
The vision of the Children's Movement is to create outlets for learning that are experiential.
Build up that energy.
Using visual arts, meditation, movement, and creative writing.
Let's throw it to somebody across the room who might need it.
And especially right now, using these creative techniques as a means to stop prejudice and stereotype before it festers and builds.
My peace is gold, happiness, memories from my heart. I am joy and love to the world.
It is love. It smells like roses and tastes like sweet candy.
Look at this heart. Is that like any heart you've ever seen before?
Realizing the need children would have to express themselves after September 11th, she adjusted the agenda, urging New York City school principals to let her program help their students.
I said, we know that half of your school faced the Trade Center. We know that these children saw it happen. We know the second plane went right by their windows. And we're ready to work with you in whatever ways, means possible that we have. And these principals said, please come as soon as possible.
Months earlier, Ilana had developed a program for the children of war-torn Bosnia. Now she knew it could and should be applied to the children of New York City.
What they have in common was outside forces coming in and breaking normality. And we're very lucky compared to what happened in Bosnia.
Understanding the sad realities of Bosnia came through her brother Ron, an award-winning photojournalist who covered the war in the Balkans.
I think that this program, by going to the children and starting out at the youngest generation and start to teach them about tolerance again, and to try and do something about changing their ideas about the stories that they've heard for many, many years from their parents about how this side did this to that side and so on, that can act as a countermeasure to that.
What does it mean to be landlocked?
There's no water.
No water. We had always wanted to connect the children from Bosnia to children to New York, and everyone said, why? There's no connection. Well, I have felt there always is a connection, but now there's a blatant connection.
To illustrate her point, Ilana organized an exhibit of children's art created in her New York City classes. Some of the schools she works in actually face the World Trade Center.
And we call this Personal Experience Day. What we did with the children was lead them through a meditation to find the experience of 9/11 in their bodies, see what it looks like, what it tastes like, what it smells like, and really supporting them to bring that memory up to their hearts.
I was at school on September 11th, and I saw that one of the Twin Towers were on fire. So my teacher let us get up to the window and watch.
My mom told me that the Twin Towers collapsed, and I was like crying. Tears came out of my cheeks, and I was really sad.
I have to say my teacher handled everything really well, and my parents weren't there with me. But creative movement, it helped you, because otherwise it's mostly reading and math, and we talked about it in class, but not the way creative movement helped us.
The exhibit will travel the country. Ilana hopes the trauma relief program will also travel to schools across America to help children understand this confusing time in history.
When people ask me, why are these kids still traumatized? I know what we've been through from the beginning. I would say, well, not to that extent. Not to the extent of, oh my God, what's happened? But it's a process, and we've been through things, and I'm not necessarily pessimistic, but I think that a lot of things are going to be happening over the next few years. And it's really important to have this space available for these kids.
The art and poetry these children have created will resonate for a long time to come, just like the horrors they've experienced firsthand.
This memory I found in my big toe. It was the shape of a star. It was blue. It was heavy, but I managed to carry it. As soon as I put it there, it turned bright yellow. It started turning around. Light shone all through my heart. When I first saw the memory, it made me sad because of all the things that happened. But when I brought it up to my heart, it made me feel a little better. The star is still turning, and the light is still shining.
There's something about when kids put it into words that's
yeah.
so, like, sincere. Well, our education reporter, Justine Simons, is here now with more on this story. Justine, nice job.
Thank you.
What about this exhibit? Where can people go see it?
Well, right now it's at the Empire State Building, and they're not sure when, but the next city that it will be traveling to is Chicago, and then they hope to take it all around the country. And they keep updating their website, so if you want to go online to childrensmovement.org and check out their website to find out where it's coming next.
So tell us more about the program in Bosnia. How is that developing now?
It is developing, and she's actually going to go over to Bosnia in March during what's technically Easter break here with her New York schools. And she'll be working with 15-year-old students, so a little bit older than the age group that she's working with here. And it's very based on explaining culture and different traditions so that these two sides that have warred with each other for so long can understand each other, hopefully, a little bit better.
That's really important, because when you think of a lot of these clashes in the Middle East and elsewhere, I mean, it's because children don't understand those cultural differences.
Right, and in fact, those postcards that they were painting in the class with the hearts, those are going to Afghanistan, to hopefully what will be new schools that are being set up in Afghanistan. So children there can see how similar, actually, the lives between the two countries are.
So is the program in Bosnia going to be a little bit different than what she's doing here in New York?
Yeah, it is different. One big focus here in New York and what she hopes to spread around the country is a look at history and more academic focus rather than just cultural. And in Bosnia, they can't teach history. It's off limits. So will be a big focus on traditions and culture and explaining one another to each other. Yeah, it's very different.
Wow. Yeah. And I mean, she's so inspiring. You know, she's young and she's trying to make a difference. It's like she's got a lot on her plate.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, I think everywhere she goes, she makes a difference. Actually, on the 11th, she was stuck on the New Jersey side, and a lot of people who were being evacuated were brought over to where she was, and she said she felt so helpless because she didn't have any medical background, so she actually went out after that and got her medic's license. She has a little badge now. Yeah, she's clearly she's very driven.
See, that's amazing, because I think that, you know, all the rest of us, you know, you can't help, you throw your arms up and go, oh, I wish I could help. I mean, but how many people had that kind of commitment?
She obviously has proven you can go out there and make a difference.
Right, exactly. And she's a background in theater. You know, it's not like her background is in changing the world.
Right. Yeah. I don't think that can be your major, but you can still do it.
For a very small fee.
But we have someone else to thank, don't we, for this?
We do. We want to thank Campbell's and their Labels for Education program. They sponsor our education segments here on Pure Oxygen.
All right, good for them. All right, thank you so much, Justine. Nice job. And up next, best-selling author Elizabeth Wurtzel on her depression and Ritalin addiction. You don't want to miss this. You're watching Pure Oxygen.